Welcome back to the Real Couchwives podcast, where we overanalyze all things pop culture.
Today, we are taking a look back at what we consider to be one of Bravo's Summerhouse's top seasons, season 6.
If I call off the wedding, you won't understand why.
An unexpected hitter.
Oh, yeah.
This season on Summerhouse.
We just rewatched it because, why not? And as people who have now planned or are planning a wedding, we're kind of even more horrified at some of the events that happened this season, so we want to break it all down.
That season finale in particular, pretty crazy. Though honestly, yeah, you're right. The entire season from start to finish is just so absurd.
Okay, Iris, for those who have not rewatched season 6 as recently as we have,
yes,
can you just give us a breakdown of some of the things that happened?
Yes, certainly. So it is the season, as we mentioned, that Kyle and Amanda are getting married. They end the season actually at their wedding. This is also the season that Paige is deciding between Andrea and Craig. So that whole development is starting to happen. It's Ciara's second season. So she's kind of like, still introducing herself to the audience. We're trying to get to know her a little bit. It was Maya's first season, who actually, I think, integrated with the group really well pretty instantly.
Yeah, she had a solid first season.
Solid first season, actually. We then had a couple other newbies. We had Andrea, who it wasn't his first season on Bravo in general. He was on Winter House previously, but it was his first season of Summerhouse, and he brought a great energy to the group. And then we also had Alex, who did little to nothing, and actually wasn't there for half of the season.
Was
though.
Kind of there.
It's kind of there, but not there. And then this is, of course, the season that Carl has gotten sober. So it's his first summer as a sober person, which is I think brings about the renaissance of Carl for a lot of us. It then is also the season that there's a little bit of a will they won't they kind of romance brewing between Carl and Lynsey, which is really nice to see. Lynsey has her kind of minxy summer. She talks about how at the beginning of the summer, just before summer, she had a miscarriage, and so she kind of has just ended her relationship with that guy. What was his name? No.
Oh my god, I don't even remember his name. The guy from Winter House.
He then dated Giselle, but allegedly.
Oh, yeah.
Also, wow. not really, but whatever. Was his name also Alex?
No, it was definitely not Alex.
Okay.
Well, it'll come to us.
But anyway, so he was
Jason.
There. Jason, thank you. And he was there. Yeah, so she'd kind of come out of the relationship with Jason. They'd had the miscarriage, and so she kind of goes into the summer as a single Lynsey and wants to have a hot hub summer. And Danielle's kind of there along for the ride as well for that. But she is also dating Robert at this time. So that's just kind of the quickest overview you could probably do of what happened that season, or at least where everybody was that season.
Plus the really big fight with Ciara and Danielle.
Honestly, some incredible moments that happened this season.
So we'll talk about all of the big things that happened. But then also, this is also the crazy reunion, because then when you go to the reunion for this season, Lynsey and Carl are together, and this is the infamous reunion where Paige was sat next to Carl and Lynsey and refused to even turn her head to look at them, and Andy literally pointed that out.
What is going on here? Well, and it's also, this was such a crazy time to be a Bravo fan. And I distinctly remember it because it was so intense. You really had to be caught up on all of the drama. You had to be watching Winter House, you had to be watching Summerhouse, you had to be watching Southern Charm, you had to be watching all these different things. Oh, it's so
true, because there's so many components to put the whole thing together.
Components. And if you hadn't seen Winter House, you had just literally ended where you ended at the end of Summerhouse, you'd be like, why is Paige so mad at Lynsey? And honestly, even with watching Winter House, you probably didn't really understand why Paige was so mad at Lynsey and Carl. But I think that there was a whole kind of campaign against Lynsey that was brewing in that side of the friendship, and so that was
it's such a good point. And I feel like this is what Bravo was really hoping to get to with all of these different kind of spin-offs, like where you have storylines progressing on Winter House, you have storylines progressing on Southern Charm, you have things happening outside of seasons that are all fueling into the culmination of this new season. And I feel like they were on that trajectory and then everything just kind of like crumbled.
I really do feel like it was kind of just like such a great, like, you know, in a second renaissance kind of, or I guess the whole idea of a renaissance is a little bit of like a second coming of like Bravo. Like we had it so good in those like seasons and we just kind of didn't fully appreciate like how amazing it was at the time.
I know. And also coming off of such a flop season of season 5, like the COVID season was so bad. I feel like this was so unexpected to have such a good season. It was crazy. Like while I was rewatching it, it's so weird that this is a comfort show to me because it's like just this rowdy, like party, crazy drama. But like I love it. It's like if I just want to like turn off my brain and feel comfort, I just watch this show.
Well, I also think it's the fantasy of like being at a time in your life where like you spend every single summer with your like group of friends and like you guys rent these like insane, beautiful, gorgeous houses in the Hamptons and like see each other every single weekend. Like that is just not something that is unfortunately a reality in our life anymore, right? Like or has never also ever really been a reality in our life. But like there was a time when it could have been possible and now it's like, oh, it feels even more impossible than ever before.
No, but it was a great season. So we'll start off. So okay, I feel like even the first time we watched this season, you're watching it be like, how are Amanda and Kyle going to get married at the end of the season? Because like they start off this season, like she hates this man.
Like she hates this man. She does not want to be around him. He is not a good partner to her. He's like under so much stress and like takes it out in such inappropriate ways. And
the dictator of the dinner table.
he is the dictator of the dinner table. He introduces this idea of a prenup like horribly, like really, like if you're gonna, you know, ask for a prenup and you want to do a prenup, like don't kind of like throw your investors under the bus and like kind of do like a wishy-washy way of like, well, maybe should we get one? I think maybe we should. I don't know. I guess they've been talking about it, so maybe we should do it. I don't know. I've never thought about it before.
And it was also so close to the wedding. Like you've been engaged for like 3 years at this point or something like that.
Literally, they got engaged in season 3 and then they're like crazy. Yeah, it's season 6.
I mean, they also got engaged at the end of a really bad season. Like when they got engaged, it was like a couple weeks after finding out that he may or may not have cheated on her. Like they were literally about to break up and he was like, I'm gonna push right through. And he even like has a conversation with Stassi and she's like, maybe now is not the time to do it. And he's like crying at the club and she's like, well, maybe don't get so drunk that you may or may not, you know, cheat on your significant other.
Exactly. Or may not even know if you cheated on your significant other because you got so drunk.
It's bad. It's so bad. And I feel like what you remember. So we start off this season with Kyle being out all night, saying that it's because he's like, you know, selling Loverboy and he's like schmoozing or whatever. And then Amanda calls him like 37 times and she's like crying and she's like throwing his stuff out the balcony because she's like, what if he gets drunk and cheats on me again? And it's like, you are going into marriage and that is the thought that you have constantly. Like that's a huge problem that I feel like they just never really worked through and like will continue to haunt them and does continue to haunt them. Like
well, and like I guess as somebody who's never had this type of relationship, I just can't understand it. And I think so much of the audience, like the summer that it, or the time when it was airing, of like just being like, you don't have to do this. Like you don't have to be in this relationship with this person. Like it's not worth it. And I remember that and I was instantly transported back in rewatching it as well. Of just like, there's no reason to get married here. Like it's super easy to call off an engagement. It's so much harder to get divorced.
Well, that's it. And like, and even they're friends, right? Like you have Paige who's like a bridesmaid who's literally crying, being like, you don't need to do this. Like, are you happy?
Are you sure you want this?
Literally they're having conversations. Like they had to put a freaking clause, like a clause that Amanda's parents wrote that's like, if you cheat on her, you have to pay us back for the wedding. Like the fact that you're even like, this is the scenario. It's just like, and also like, I get it. Like planning weddings are stressful, but like they're not that stressful. Like this couple was like imploding and they kept just being like, it's the stress of the wedding.
It's the stress of the wedding. It's the stress of the wedding and the $4 million in debt and the lawsuit and everything that was happening.
There's a lot of stress obviously on Kyle and there was a lot of stuff happening, but it's just like, that should not be what's happening going into your wedding. Like it's crazy.
Agreed. And like we've witnessed other weddings happen on Bravo, like the Vanderpump Rules ones, like, which granted, like, you know, Tom and Katie is, I mean, I'm not even gonna go there, but like Sheena and Brock, like, yes, stressed 100%, but still able to be, you know, functioning humans and like still able to like want to get married. And like, I don't know. It seems like they made it so much more stressful. And maybe it was also because like, I think last minute, basically they decided that it was going to be on Bravo. It was going to be the series, like the way that they were going to end the season.
Right.
So that added like a whole other like aspect to it. And I think they made the whole the wedding a lot bigger because of that. They all of a sudden were like inviting all these Bravo celebrities and they were inviting everybody that was from the show. And like it just got bigger and bigger and bigger because they had to keep up with the appearance of the fact that it was being filmed for the TV show. So
do you think like, that's what happened?
I think that's a good portion of what happened, is that like because all of a sudden it went from being wherever they were going to have it into it's going to be at his or her parents' backyard, and like Austin
which was
and Craig
beautiful.
Were going to be there. I think like, Shep was there. Like
literally,
it was gorgeous.
Dream tent wedding.
Yeah,
it's like it was gorgeous. I kind of wish they could have just said that. I understand that you can't like break the fourth wall in that way, but it just made them seem. Yeah, it made them seem so unorganized, and like you just had so many questions of being like, I don't get it. You've been engaged for 3 years, and like I understand that COVID pushed your wedding, but like how are you literally mailing out your invites like a month before and like 3 weeks before your florist cancels? Like that's crazy.
I know. Well, and my whole theory with the florist too is that the florist like signed on for the original version of the wedding, and then as soon as the like mega Bravo version of the wedding it was gonna happen, the florist was like, well, this is not what we talked about at all. I'm actually pulling out of this because this is not. And that's why they needed to like last minute find a florist who was able to accommodate whatever crazy over the top vision that they had.
That would make a lot more sense, because like the way that they said it was something like, oh, they gave feedback, and then like the florist said like, oh, like you don't trust me, and then she dropped out, and I'm like, that
sounds weird.
Like I don't think that's how that works.
And like if you had a contract with a florist, like they would be expecting feedback. Like that's it. Like they're unusual.
There. So that whole thing was crazy. Just the whole time just going through it, just being like, how are we still marching towards this goal, like with it going so poorly? And then the other thing that hit me really hard too was more just like they left a lot of stuff to the last minute, and then they got COVID. So then they had like 1 week, and they got COVID like 2 weeks before the wedding, and then they had to shove everything into like 1 week, and like you just saw them filming themselves and they're crying, and I'm like, oh, that part I could like feel.
Well, and that's just it, right? Like they like at one point in the season Kyle talks about how he's like so jealous of all the people that got married during COVID because they like got away with these like teeny tiny little like 6-person weddings, and they didn't have to deal with all the stress of like putting on this huge thing, and so they like had the like none of the benefits of getting married during COVID, but still had the COVID of getting married during COVID and then had to like have that completely like, you know, doing your final dress fitting like, you know, 10 minutes before you actually walk down the aisle.
Honestly, so crazy. Like all of those things just get like I had so much more anxiety watching it this time around, having gone through these things. I'm like, oh my gosh, how?
I know. Well, yeah, exactly. And I think it's interesting that we like look back on this season so fondly, that like thinking that we also then like have all this stress kind of about the wedding and about the Kyle and Amanda, and like the fact that this is like season 6 of Kyle and Amanda and all of their drama basically.
It's, I mean, look, it's as much as it's good TV. Like it's just like
TV.
It's so much is happening.
Will they, won't they? Will they, won't they make it down the aisle?
The thing with Kyle and Amanda is like there's always like there's glimpses of them that when they work, they really work. And they're so on the same vibe in terms of like their humor, and like they're just so silly, like but then
sorry.
Oh
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
It was like but then there's like that's maybe like 20% of the time that we see, and like the rest of it, like they just seem like fundamentally different humans in terms of like what they want out of life.
Yeah, and how they want to behave, or who they want to like, exactly, how they want to present themselves, and all of the conversations. But yeah, you're right. Like the fact that they showed up to the prom and basically were in like identical outfits, like that's super cute. They like both had the same idea of like what they wanted to be.
I think it was on Winter House. It was like the first time that we were like, which makes sense because I think that was like right after they got married. We're like, oh, like this is the Kyle and Amanda that we understand.
Yeah,
like they're like when they're, and that's probably why they stay together, is because like when they work, they really, really work.
Yeah,
but like it's. I think it was Paige who said it in one of the recent seasons, actually. She's like, I feel like a lot of things that Kyle is annoyed at Amanda about is just like his wife's personality.
Yeah. Which is very true. But at the same time, like I think Amanda could have the same requests against Kyle, or the same complaints against Kyle, but it's the same thing that with what we felt with Tom Schwartz and Katie Maloney for so long too, is like you're like, how does this work? Like how does this relationship that we see really the worst parts of be a successful relationship on Vanderpump Rules, which honestly it was pretty successful considering they were together at least for like 9 of the 11 seasons of the show. Like,
which is crazy.
They
like
outlasted
honestly,
a lot of other couples.
Honestly, at this point, like I think Amanda and Kyle are going to the end. Like I don't think they're ever. Like...
I would be super surprised if they did break up.
I can't imagine Summerhouse without Kyle and Amanda though. Like as a guy, like I kind of love them. Even Kyle, I have to say. Like
I especially can't imagine Summerhouse without Kyle. Like Kyle is the driving force of Summerhouse. He is the king of the party. Like the idea that they are it seems like they're going to attempt to do a version of Summerhouse 2.0. Obviously, we don't know anything confirmed yet. Without maybe Kyle and Amanda, and with whoever will be like the new cast of Summerhouse. So
right, because Kyle and Amanda might go to this new like city one.
Exactly, because of the whole spinoff that's happening, which is also just so crazy that it's like another spinoff. Like this is like the 4th spinoff from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh my gosh,
like three times removed or whatever it would be. It's so crazy.
It's crazy. Like I just like. Because I was trying to think of the good seasons that Kyle and Amanda had. Like the season that they got engaged was when he might have cheated. Yeah. And then there's like this whole, bad kind of lead up to the wedding. I think they had a good season 7 from what I remember. And I
think they at least had a pretty good season 5 too, because even though there was a lot of like animosity in the house in general in season 5, it wasn't really between Kyle and Amanda, and that was maybe because they kind of had like a common enemy with Hannah.
True. Yeah. No, that's fair.
If I had to guess.
But then season 8, I just started watching, and then I was like, no, this is too soon. We have a problem. Season 8, she's like so fed up of him and like doesn't want to be near him or talk to him or like anything. So it's just like, it's rough.
Yeah, it is rough. It's definitely not how I could orchestrate a relationship, but I guess, to each their own.
Yeah, to each their own.
It's what you're used to. It's what you know. It's what feels right and normal to you. So that's fine.
No, exactly. But beyond that, and I think what makes the season so crazy is like that's just one portion of the craziness of this season. There's so many other things happening too. So like as you said, I can't believe this is actually Andrea's first season. I love him. Has there ever been a more beloved like person on a show for like as few seasons as he's done as Andrea?
No, I know. He did, that's just it. He did an incredible job. He came in, he like stole our hearts on Winter House. He like kept it going, and we really like, I remember when this was happening and the internet was so divided over the Paige like choosing between Andrea and Craig, and how everybody was like, I can't believe you chose Craig when you had Andrea. Like that was your option.
Yeah, us included.
Us included, 100%. We were like, what is happening right now? I mean, you know, like obviously I think she made her bed, and I think she was happy with it in the time, and it's what she wanted. And it worked out for Andrea because he ended up with Lexi, and they ended up being married. And we'll probably get to see them on the new version of the city spinoff.
That's true.
But yeah, it's so
that was wild.
Yeah, he was a good addition, and it was kind of too bad that he didn't get to come back the next season.
I just don't
he was
understand.
in a relationship. It's because he was in a relationship.
Do you think? But like other people are in relationships. I mean, like what Danielle was in a relationship.
But I think the whole thing is that like they don't want, like, they're already anchored people that like are in relationships. That's fine. I think they want the new people to be the ones that are like the ones mixing and mingling and bringing new people in and bringing new drama.
Do you think that's why like Sam wasn't brought back too? Because I thought Sam was really good.
I think that is why Sam wasn't brought back, and that was why Bailey got let go early on in the season.
But she lied about it apparently.
Yeah, but even Andrea, like, so basically based on what happens at the beginning of season 6, it makes it sound like he broke it off with Lexi because he was going on this show. And obviously there was the whole Paige aspect to it.
Right.
But I also think that if they were like, a condition of you being on this show is you have to be single, he was like, great, I'm going to be on this show and I'm going to break up with this girl. And this girl was like, well, obviously I'm not going to answer your phone calls if you're breaking up with me to be on a TV show.
Oh my God, that's
good
true.
to have standards. And then she ended up still taking him back anyways because he ended up crying the entire second half of the season.
He cried the whole time. I just love him so much. I love him so much. It's not fair. And like the time when like Maya was really upset at him because he like called her a different name, and then she told him why that upset her, and then he was so upset, and he made such an effort the rest of the season. I was just like, oh.
I know. Even that, the fact that like they were able to have like that conversation in this house, and like the group actually like took it seriously. And for anybody who isn't like remembering this, like basically at one point in the season, like, you know, first couple like weekends in, Maya felt like she was kind of being like alienated from the group. She felt like she was being like mixed up with Ciara, even though they look nothing alike, and that like she was being called the wrong name, or she was being ignored, and like partially it was because of like certain things that like Andrea was doing, but just also like in general within the house, like feeling like she wasn't like, you know, being given an identity, and, you know, struggling with the fact that like she was one of the only Black cast members of the show.
Yeah.
But and also like, you know, it's a majority white cast as well. So
yeah, and the Hamptons just being majority,
and the Hamptons kind of being white AF.
Yeah, honestly, that was a really nice moment on Bravo, and I think that this cast really respects each other and loves each other at the end of the day, and I feel like
really
is like
a real group of friends. Like they actually hang out, they actually like each other
when they don't hate each other with a burning passion. Like they're very like opposites. So we love Andrea, we miss him. Paige did decide to go with Craig. Oh, and then also mixed up in this too is like the whole rumors of like Craig was hooking up with Kristen Cavallari. We literally find this out like the first couple of episodes. I watched Kristen Cavallari's she has like I guess a documentary kind of that was like covering her podcast
tour. Yeah.
And she had Craig and Austin on, and this was after Paige and him had broken up. Mm-hmm. But they did talk about this stuff and basically confirm that it was her and Craig who were hooking up. and they tried to like put it on Austin.
Yeah,
it
which I remember when that was happening. Then I did think I was like, oh no, it's Austin that's hooking up with her. So I completely fell for it. They did a very good job of fooling me.
Right? You know what is so crazy is like, no matter what Craig does, women are always gonna Craig or Austin, like women are always gonna fight on them. Like we just saw the Southern Charm new trailer, and it just looks like there's again two women fighting over Craig, and it's just like, what are we doing?
So hard to imagine too, because I'm just like, I could not be more put off by this person that believes in like conspiracy theories. Like this is never gonna be my type of guy.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
to each their own, apparently. And I also just think that Sally is like so thirsty that like she will lust over anybody. I'm just like, she lusted over Joe Bradley for whatever reason on Southern Hospitality. So now she's lusting over Craig because he's the single one of the group and he's not Shep. It's like, that's it.
Yeah, that's true. It's just so crazy because like at the beginning of this season, I feel like Paige kind of wants to make it official, and Craig is kind of just being like, no, we don't need to put a title on it. Like, we're having so much fun. Yeah. And then I feel like the second they made it official, he was like, when are we going to get married? Like, when are you going to Charleston? Like, what are you doing?
So when are we locking this down? You're going to come meet my parents, right? Next weekend? Yeah?
Yeah, he's like, cool. But you're not my girlfriend, but you're going to come meet my parents.
I think you should come to Delaware, but... ridiculous.
That was an interesting season. And then it's also funny watching it back too, because one of the big points of contention at the reunion was that someone had leaked, that Craig was like so drunk that he got kicked out of Amanda and Kyle's wedding. Yeah. And Paige was like, no, that's not true. And they tried to blame it on Lynsey for leaking it. Yeah. And we do find out now that they're broken up that was in fact true.
Yes. And we do find out after Lynsey and Danielle broke up that it was Danielle that actually
leaked. That it was actually Danielle who leaked on her own. I'm sorry, leaking on your own cast members is like, I feel like that's like Real Housewives have been taken down by that. I mean, of Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the whole Radar Online thing, like those connections run deep with Lisa Vanderpump, so I understand it. But yeah, oh, Craig. The fact that we like spent so much time on that, like what happened at Amanda and Kyle's wedding? Did he get kicked out? And then he did get kicked out, which none of us should have been surprised by. No. Like none of us should have been shocked by. I guess I was a little shocked to find out that the reason that he got kicked out was because he was like insisting that he needed to be able to use the bathroom in the main house, even though there was like porta potties provided, and I'm sure they were very nice porta potties, which I'm pretty sure is exactly what I said the last time that we found out that this is what happened. But
yeah, but we've seen him get to that level, and that he just kind of like crosses a threshold, and it's
he went crazy in, what was it? Were they in Jamaica? No, they were in Bahamas. When he was like allegedly gonna have to share a room with Austin, he was like, I'm too old. I'm a grown man. I cannot share with Austin.
Like the Winter House episodes where he was like trying to pay people for the nicer rooms. Yeah.
I'm gonna have the best room in the house, please. I have a little bit of money now. Just goes to show, that's all it takes. A little bit of money, all of a sudden everybody's walking around like a crazy person. Yeah.
So that happened.
This is also the season where Ciara, Lynsey, and Austin, the love triangle happens, and it's kind of the worst.
It's so bad. It's so bad. And like the fact that these women are literally throwing things at each other over Austin. Yeah. And to be honest, when I watch this back, I feel like on any other show, Ciara would not be brought back after that. Right. I kind of feel like that was pretty bad. Like she threw a glass at Danielle.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess I wonder how much of it is like discussions based on the cast, like if they get like questioned about it, like how do you feel? Are you comfortable with her coming back, kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Because like there was definitely, I feel like some things that happened in Potomac that like
that's kind of exactly what I'm thinking about.
similar, but like Ciara got to come back the next year, which I think is good because I think Ciara needed to come
for sure. And I love Ciara, and I feel like I love Ciara now. I feel like it took her a while to kind of come out of her shell in the show. And a lot of her storylines were just wrapped up in like Austin or like other stuff.
Yeah.
But I just when I watched it back, they didn't really make a big deal out of it at all. Like she kind of came out and she was like, sorry guys. And then that was just it.
Well, she did a good job of like apologizing the next day to Danielle, and so I think that was at least kind of like what helped. And like if you think back to like the Amsterdam episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which is another example where a wine glass was thrown and glass was everywhere and the chaos.
That's true.
Happened. Like I obviously don't know if that's the reason why Brandy and Kim never came back, but like Lisa Rinna came back and she was the one that broke the glass. So
you're right. Actually, there's literal felons who are on Bravo. So
there is also literal felons that are on Bravo. One more now with Wendy Asefo. I'm so dyslexic. I don't know how to pronounce Asefia.
No, you're right. I actually completely retract everything I just said.
I mean, I can understand why it would be like a point of contention, because I think that Bravo like overall does try to cover their bases as much as possible. But yeah, I am glad that like at least she got to come back next year, and then she, like it wasn't, I think because she also took a lot of responsibility and accountability for like the fact that she like got to a very heightened place very quickly. Yeah. But also I like was like totally on Ciara's side in that, because I did think that like the way that Lynsey was behaving, like
horrendous.
I could see myself getting to that point, basically.
Lynsey was so obnoxious that weekend. She was like early Stassi. At least Stassi, it's my birthday, is like entertaining and funny. Yeah. This was just like, I don't care, it's my birthday. Like she was literally like, it's my birthday, so I can act like a crazy person and just like disregard literally everyone's feelings. Yeah. And like Ciara tried to have a conversation with her and she literally like ran into like a shed or something.
Well, and like I as I grow closer to Lynsey's age in that that season in particular, like I can imagine myself fighting with a 25-year-old, and I can't imagine myself responding the way that Lynsey responded, or like handling myself the way that Lynsey handled herself.
And I just find that Ciara always came across way more composed, and like Lynsey would be like, oh, she's just a girl, like she's a child, like but like I actually think Ciara was like, she was very communicative, and she was like kind of like willing to just go talk about it, and like Lynsey was just like, no.
Yeah. And she was very clear of like, this is why my feelings are hurt. This is why I don't want this to happen. This is why I don't want him sleeping in your room. And it's just so infuriating to watch it back and like see the way that Austin and Lynsey like fed off of each other, and the way that they kind of like developed this like Bonnie and Clyde, like it's us against the world, everybody else is just a hater, and we're gonna go out and party, and we're gonna do whatever we want.
30-something-year-olds, like Austin too. Austin was like, Lynsey kissed me on the mouth. What do you think about that? Punch this man in the face, like
But then it's so satisfying. So at one point during Lynsey's birthday, it's like it's gotten debaucherous. Everybody's getting crazy. It's winding down. Paige has changed out of her like actual outfit and is in like her like comfy cozies, and like they're about to do birthday cake, and she goes to find Austin and Ciara in Andrea's bedroom to get them to like come do cake, and Austin like closes the door. And the way that like Paige has such a visceral reaction to the experience of having the door closed in her face, and she just lets loose on this man.
I love a fired up Paige.
It was incredible. It was so beautiful. And so it starts and she goes off after Austin, and I love that. And then it escalates because then Lynsey gets involved, and all of a sudden she goes off on Lynsey, and it's literally like, it's art. To me, this is cinema. Like
it was pretty good.
It was glorious. Like that, and then her going off on Kyle at the end of the season. Like
wait, was it
for the Paige stands.
Season?
Yeah, it's the same season. So she goes, there's a few times that she
you
goes
mean
off
the
on
dictator
Kyle.
of the dinner
when she calls him the dictator
of
the dinner party, the dinner table. Yeah. It's great. Some of the best Paige work happens in this season 6.
It was very good. I loved it.
It was very good, very satisfying.
I still can't believe, like, I don't know what Summerhouse is going to be like without Paige either.
I know. I'm not ready for it.
No,
I'm not ready for it at all.
Her one-liners.
I know. I'm hoping we'll at least get cameos of her on the City spinoff.
True. And also, like, Ciara is going to be a lot. I think that Ciara is becoming a more prominent character.
Yes.
But it's like, so I think it's going to be a lot of Ciara and Amanda, I guess.
Yeah.
And also Lynsey's back being friends with all of them too, which I love. I love Mom Lynsey. Yeah. Like, Lynsey really redeemed herself in her pregnancy season.
Well, and I also think that so this season is particularly bad for Lynsey. Like, I think that she's a little bit obnoxious, but I also think that she's like within her rights. Like, you know, you're a 35-year-old woman, you can do whatever you want, like, be you, do you, whatever. But I can very much understand why. Like, I can remember why I was so annoyed with her back in the day, and I can understand why. I can at least appreciate her a little bit more now.
Yeah. No, agreed. It's just great television. It's just so crazy. It's so crazy.
A+. It's so good. I'm trying to remember. There's not like a huge amount of other like big, massive things I think that happened in this season. Like, Alex doesn't really provide a lot to the story.
Poor Alex.
Maya doesn't also like provide a lot to the story in this season. Even Danielle, like, she doesn't really get, like, she's always kind of there, but she's not like in the thick of it for the most part.
But you know what's so crazy?
Yeah.
Is like this season Danielle gets a lot of heat for basically just like Danielle's a ride or die to the like nth degree. Like she rides too hard.
Yeah, to a fault almost.
Yeah. So she literally gets a glass thrown at her for her riding for Lynsey.
Yeah.
Like, she's literally like Lindsay's keeper.
Yeah.
And to go from that to season 7 where Lynsey just flips on her and they're not even friends is crazy.
Yeah. I also thought it was interesting to see how much, like, I didn't realize, I guess the first time that I watched this, like how much Danielle is also like kind of the Kyle whisperer too. Like, she is always the one that like goes off and goes after him when he has his little tantrums.
Because she's also a CEO.
So she can relate. She understands. Yeah. She's like, Kyle, you and me, we got this. Nobody else is going to understand this, but you and I, we can understand this.
Yeah. No,
well, I guess now Carl, now that he's like a businessman, can like maybe understand. Is he going to get to be part of the Cool Kids group? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and then Carl.
Carl's in the season too.
But Carl doesn't like do too much in the season, but he is there, and it's a good season for Carl. I think we also needed, after like many seasons of Carl doing maybe like too much, we needed like a nice, easy Carl season.
I know. And honestly, like, remember when we were saying in one of our past episodes, he did, whose podcast was he on? Probably Nick Viall or something.
Probably.
But he was on someone's podcast and we were like, this man is actually someone who has done the work. Like, he really has introspected and he's gone to therapy. Mm-hmm. And like, I feel like you start to see that this season. Like, he really puts himself first and doesn't put himself into scenarios that are going to be like, I don't know, bad for him. But he just seems like a lot more like comfortable with himself.
Yes.
So that was nice to see.
Yeah.
And he dates someone kind of awkwardly for a moment.
Yes. Like Mackenzie, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. His like first, but even like he says during the season, like, you know, you're not really supposed to be dating anybody when you're like not at your first year, like full first year sober. So I think like partially there's that aspect to it. And then also like it was, you know, it didn't necessarily feel like it was a love connection, like a long-term love connection for them. And then it happens to just be the absolute cutest thing in the entire world when he and like Lynsey like profess their feelings for each other. at Kyle and Amanda's wedding.
Oh yeah, well, I'm even thinking about when they went to prom together and they wrote each other those notes.
Little notes, their little invites. It was so cute. And then watching like Carl like be the officiant for Kyle and Amanda on their wedding, and it's so beautiful and so moving. And he really was the like only person that was always like so believing in their love. And, like, he was the perfect person to do it. He did a great job.
That's what's crazy too, is that like then the next season, because I did binge them back to back, then they like have this huge falling out and rift. So it's just like, honestly, that's what's so crazy about Summerhouse, is just like it's kind of like VPR, where I feel like wherever you left a season, it's totally different by the next season.
But you don't necessarily know.
For VPR, it was the opposite though, whereas I feel like, and specifically I'm thinking of seasons where it's like, okay, season 1, we find out that Jax actually did cheat on Stassi, and you know, he lied to everyone and everyone hates him, and that's how we end the season. And then season 2 is like, I made up with everyone and we're best friends again. It's just fine.
Not a problem. We all went to Vegas. We all had a good time. It was fine.
But like Southern Charm too. And then whereas this show is more like, we ended up on good terms, and then it's like, we hate them.
They're actually the enemy now. I know. That's just what's so remarkable and so special about Summerhouse. It's just the best TV show. What can you say?
And I will say, the whole like way that Lynsey and Carl started was very cute, with like the prom stuff, and then like it was really cute. And then we also cover this. It's kind of funny to like now be going back, because we did cover these episodes live. But it's like, I feel like it ended so cute, but then there was basically, they started getting together right at the end of filming. So then we went like a whole year of their relationship has progressed, but we haven't seen it. So then the next time we see them, they're like very aggressive, and they're aggressively like, babe, babe, babe. And it's just like, it's a lot. And we're all just like, I need a moment.
Well, they do come in for like a few episodes of
Winter House. And it was also a lot.
And that's just it. Like they were already like on everybody else's shit list, basically. Which also already felt like a little bit confusing. But yeah, they were kind of already kind of like in the whole like babe, babe, babe sphere of things, and like very into like themselves, and like anyways,
it's crazy. It was a crazy season. It was such a fun watch. I just like, I forgot how fun it was watching that season again. And I kind of wish I could go back and rewatch it again.
We're watching it. There's no reason you can't.
No, but like I need like a little bit of time.
Eternity.
I need a little bit of time to pass at least.
That's fair. I think that's fair. Well, you know what you should watch? You should go watch Real Housewives of London.
Oh, okay.
So I watched the first episode. I wasn't into it. I was like, well, I'm caught up on everything else. Let me try it again. I tried it again. By episode 3, I'm like, I am hooked. I love it.
Really?
This is the best thing ever. Like, give me 14 of them. Like, it's so good.
Okay.
And now I'm like waiting for the next episode. I'm like jonesing for the next episode to come out. So yeah.
Okay, I'll have to give it a try. Let us know if that's what you're watching. You know what I'm really into right now?
What?
Is Dancing with the Stars.
Well, are you watching The Challenge too?
And The Challenge. The Challenge is finally
really good right now. It's so good.
They finally found a good balance, which is a bunch of new threats, but keeping the OGs. Yeah. Because I feel like they tried to be like OGs. All new.
Yeah.
And then, it's actually been really fun.
It's amazing. And they're like forcing them to work together, which is amazing, because then they have to like have like these like alliances that are like crossing, collaborating and everything.
It's so good.
I don't know if you watched the most recent episode.
I haven't.
Okay. I will just say some old school fighting comes out. Like,
ooh. Oh, wait,
security guards are called. It's amazing.
Like the Anissa and
Nani.
It's always Nani.
It's so
but I'm not here for the CT slander from the newbies.
I'm not. I know this. Everybody. This whole justice for Lekka thing is so insane.
Like, who even are you? Yeah, we should talk. We should talk about the challenge at some point. We always say it.
Yeah,
so good.
Just do it.
I actually, just for comfort, even started rewatching VPR.
Oh, there you go. Well, actually, I've been thinking about that because I just watched a really interesting video about a little video essay on Lala, and I was like, maybe it's time. I know.
I went to season 2.
Shall not be named.
I don't know why. I'm specifically gonna go to this season.
Yeah. I've rewatched season 1 a lot, so I think I probably would skip over into season 2.
Yeah. No, it's really fun. I want to talk about Dancing with the Stars at some point. Okay. But it's honestly, it's at a point where like every single person on the show right now I like I'm not skipping over anyone's content.
That's amazing.
It's really fun. It's
especially now that Hilaria is gone. I don't know how you felt about her, but I'm not a fan.
Did you see a video where it's like she just like puts on an accent that like comes and goes?
Her accent is my Roman Empire. I think about it all the time. I've watched so many like video essays, podcasts, like everything that I consume about Hilaria Baldwin. I
think I sent you a TikTok recently that was just like, so she just got voted off, and then like she like all of her things she's like kind of whispering and just like it's as if someone like murdered someone in her family. Like she's like this, like the amount that she's distraught is just so crazy. Gotta wrap it up, but this was fun. Let us know if you are rewatching Summerhouse, how you feel about it, and what we should talk about next time.